In this video, I want to look at a simple Vue program, Vue app that has let me just show you, it has a page where the user can enter, it's a Mad Lib, the user can enter a bunch of data, say a boy's name, Fred, occupation, cook, adjective, I don't know, healthy, noun, orange, I don't know, and I'm bored already. So then these get filled in, C, 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 D, 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 F, 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 G, H, 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 I, J, 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 M, M, M. All right, so there we go. Then fill check to reveal the Mad Lib. So I have uh, text inputs and I have a check input, and then the Vue code to work with these things. And then when I say reveal the Mad Lib, then I have this paragraph, and what I typed over here gets filled in. If I may turn Fred into George, then it updates over here. If I say the noun, the city is New York, it gets filled in. So there's New York. Okay, so that's what we've got going on here. So let's see how it was done. If you want the code, I have a HTML comment here with the URL for the code, so you can download it for yourself if you want. I'm connecting to the CDN for Vue version 3. I have a link to a style sheet, not much style, but some, uh, giving the labels a width, the page a color. I have a table going on, so I have a TD, just sort of breaking my page into two cells, and a styling of a particular label. Okay. Um, what have we got going on in here? Uh, there's a bunch of these, so I could just look at the first one, and then it's just more of the same. So I have some kind of label. I wasn't a good boy. I don't have a 4 and an ID, so I should have done a better job there. But here's the view part. I have an input of the type text, and its V model is called pip. So basically, V model is I'm going to have in my view, sort of, I'm so used to React, so I'll call it the state, or they call it in Vue the data. So I'm going to have a variable called pip, or a property called pip within my data over in my view. And so then this V model is connecting this input on the HTML page with that. So that as the user types, then that value will be assigned to pip. So whatever in this input gets assigned to pip, and then in other places, say in this paragraph, where we have curly curly pip, then that value will get assigned there. So that's what we saw here when this was William, then as that value changes, it gets changed here. And you won't see us having any specific events. I'm not saying any mouse down or mouse up or key down or key up or anything like that. That's all the events are handled by Vue. All we have to care about is this data and this V model. So what is here gets associated with the variable pip, and then everywhere the variable pip appears in the paragraph, it gets updated sort of live. So it doesn't wait for me to leave the page or anything like that. But all those events are handled by Vue. Okay. So that was one thing in this. Make a little bit more room. So that was one thing here, the V model. The V model This is, I showed you pip. Here's another V model called blacksmith. And then over here in the JavaScript, we're making the data portion, and I'm just defining that I have all of these properties with these names, and they start off with a quote, quote, a sort of empty string value. And so that was why when I started the page, these were all blank because that was their state. But if I start uh, this, if I start pip with pip, and I refreshed the page, or it got refreshed for me because I changed something, um, that filled in the box to start with. So what this box is associated with that variable. So if I change that variable, it changes the box. If I change the box, it changes the variable. There's one more variable here called reveal, which is a Boolean, and that's associated with the checkbox. So let's go back and look at the checkbox. So this was just this big long sequence of things I fill in for my Mad Lib. And then here is the checkbox. Let me put it on its own little line here. It's an input of the checkbox type. I gave it an ID. And so this one, this for, I gave an ID. And that's so that I can check on the label as well as the checkbox. So it had some here. I should have given these labels IDs. I should have given those labels fours and these text boxes IDs for accessibility reasons, which I did not, and I apologize. But down here, there's also some functionality of can the user click on the label as well as the checkbox, and I did do that. Okay. But and here the V model, it's just a simple checkbox, and so the model is a Boolean. It is checked or it is not checked, true or false. So this brings says that the checkbox's value will be the checkbox's state of being checked or not will be associated with this property reveal, and reveal started off as false. So we start off not showing the paragraph over here, and then we do show it. So I still have to show you that. So the reveal is associated with the state of the checkbox, but here's reveal being used. I have this div with this paragraph in it, and I use the sort of properties or variables within this paragraph. But here's a v if. So I have the reveal is a Boolean, true or false, and then I have this div. I'm making this, I have this division with this paragraph in it showing up if the reveal property is true, which it starts off as false. So in the beginning, we don't see it, but then when the user checks the checkbox, then we show this paragraph. So I think I've shown you everything I wanted to show you. A quick recap, connect to the CDN. Here in the paragraph, we're using Vue properties, or I'll often just say variables. Here's a connection to our Vue code in a separate JavaScript file. We used vModel to connect the value of these text inputs to the variables in our data. And then we had this paragraph with those properties in curly curlies. And then we also had this one Boolean, which was associated with the state of the checkbox. Was it checked or not? And we can associate it with something else on the page. Do you see this paragraph or not? Okay, that's what I wanted to show you in this example. Thank you for your attention.